David, I think I'm going to start things off with the new games of the week for September 1st through to September 7th. Is your fridge still working, David?
It is. Why do you ask?
I don't know about that because I think we've got some bad cheese coming out on the 1st of September.
Whoa, not bad cheese.
Bad cheese!
That pun was cheesy.
Yeah, thank you. So it's a psychological horror game inspired by black and white 1920 Steamboat Willie animation. So you basically, this is the weirdest description, by the way. So you play as a mouse spending the weekend with a dysfunctional dad while mum's away, and your focus, David, your focus is to keep daddy happy in this vintage style horror experience. So I think it's made by the same people, but I don't think it's the same game because ages ago I saw on like TikTok, there was like this, I don't want to say, it's not Magnum PI, but it's basically like this style of game, but it was like a detective shooter kind of thing, like a first person shooter.
I've seen that game.
So
it's got Ace in the name. Ace something.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's not ringing any bells still, but if you think of the name later, let me know. But yeah, Bad Cheese, I think it's made by the same people, and it's basically more or less the same aesthetic, but it's like a horror game. So it's like Resident Evil meets Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse. So yeah, it looks really, really cool, and I think I actually will buy this and check this out this week, so really keen on that. So that was for September 1st, and that's going to be arriving on all platforms. So moving on to September 2nd, which is the day of recording right now. First up, we've got Metal Eden. So that is going to be on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Steam. It's a fast-paced sci-fi shooter set in the monolithic city Mobius. It's Mobin time.
It's a Morbin.
I'm gonna mob. Anyway, so you play as a hyper unit battle android fighting against sentient machines. Mission is save. I can't fucking read anything tonight. Apparently, Jesus Christ, am I having a stroke? Mission to save citizens' mission to save citizens' cause and uncover mysteries about Project Eden. David, that sounds epic, if you ask me. Next up, we've got Aces of Thunder, and that is going to be on the PC, PS5, and PS VR 2. So experience the thrill of aerial combat like never before with Aces of Thunder, a VR game made specifically with PSVR 2 in mind. So this game boasts accurate flight and aerial combat in iconic and historical warfare vehicles. So from the gist of the trailers that I've seen, it looks like it must be set in World War II, I'm assuming. But yeah, basically it's almost like a flight simulator, but specifically for war fighters, and it's VR. So yeah, it sounds really cool.
I might check that out because I got a PS2 VR if it's been designed.
Yeah, that's right. What games do you have on that?
I've got the Walking Dead games, like the Saints Sinners games. I also got Gran Turismo 7, which
is that in VR?
Yeah, it's got a VR element. It's so cool with a race reel. And I also got the Horizon Zero Dawn game because they did make a version of it, like a prequel or like a spin-off series for that.
I was going to say I could not imagine a whole version of that game being in VR. That's crazy though.
That's all I can think of at the current moment.
Yeah, so as far as just a quick thumbs up, thumbs down on VR gaming in general, does David give his thumbs up or thumbs down?
I give it my thumbs up because there are a lot of good games with VR, especially when you consider what the technology is and how it can evolve over time. I do also have a MetaQuest 3, and I played the Batman Arkham game for the MetaQuest 3.
Oh, that's right.
Arkham
I think
Shadows.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
And that is just phenomenal on the MetaQuest 3. And you really do feel like you're Batman. Good. And they really did nail the combat in that, so I think it can only go up from here.
I am wearing hockey pants. Anyway, so moving on. Next up, we've got Scar-Led Salvation. So it's already been on PC and PlayStation, but it's making its way over to the Xbox Series consoles. So it's got that whole Tom Cruise live, die, repeat Deathloop gameplay. And it's a third-person anime art style shooter, and from the looks of it, I believe it's mainly just like a story-driven game. So each death resurrects you where it all started, and you learn what happened at the military facility on that one fateful day in Willow's past.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're into that.
Live, die, repeat.
So,
Yeah. I'm into dying.
It does genuinely look really cool. But moving on, we've got Other Skin. And Other Skin is going to be on the PC. I'm going to be honest, David, I wish I could tell you properly what this game is about, but I'm going to give it my best go based on what I've seen. So it says here that Alex is lucky number 13, just like our episode, of volunteering space crusaders who is ready to give their life on a solo mission to planet Vandermeer's hostile surface. So basically it looks like another third-person action shooter, but with like futuristic sci-fi settings. Like, it appears that your job is basically to contain the corruption on the planet while shooting your way through enemy mobs, monsters, and all while like upgrading your suit technology, which basically makes you enhanced or superpowered. So yeah, looks interesting. On September 3rd, so we've got Hirogami, and that's going to be on the PC and PS5. It's an action-adventure game that's it reminds me a lot of adventure platformers like Crash Bandicoot. So Hirogami is developed by Bandai Namco, and it's a 3D platformer set in what appears to be like this origami crafted world. And you have these abilities to fold up into various different types of origami to traverse the landscape and puzzles. Like, say for example, you can fold yourself into like a paper aeroplane to cross like a ravine kind of looking thing. So it's really cool. And yeah, one thing I noticed from the trailer is that it does appear like the movement animation is like the frame rate is fragmented or lowered, kind of like what they did in the Spider-Verse movies, depending on what suit he's got. It's like it lowers the frame rate to make it look actually like animated and not like silky smooth, if that makes sense. It looks really, really cool.
What a unique gameplay twist or mechanic.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more just like an aesthetic thing. As for the actual platformer component of it and the origami thing, I think that sounds really cool. And like all the animals or monsters or whatever you interact with, I think everything is basically origami. But yeah, I like when, I don't know, there's something really aesthetically pleasing to me about how a world itself can be running at, say, like, 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, whatever, but the actual animation of one particular character is like 15 frames per second because they're meant to look like they're animated and drawn or something like that. So I think that itself is really cool. So moving on, we've got Attic Archive. So look, it's basically a bunch of classic arcade games being modernized for modern consoles, and I believe it's just coming to the Xbox. So it's a collection of forgotten games from the 1980s, originally published for Commodore 64, Amstrad CPC, and Sinclair ZX Spectrum. So
that was way before our time, the Commodore 64.
Dude.
Massively way before our time.
I recognize Commodore 64, but I don't recognize the other two. So, authentically reproduced in their 8-bit glory, it features classics from Ocean Software, Arctic Computing, Imagine Software, and Atlantis. Moving on, we've got Dead Zone Rogue. So, it was already on the PC last month, and we've actually already covered it, so I'm probably not going to go into too much detail, but it is coming to the Xbox and PlayStation 5. In short, it's a fast-paced roguelike FPS set aboard the ISS-X space station, and last time I made a joke about iPhone. But you wield over 30 upgradable elemental weapons and carve your way through enemies and powerful bosses. Ooh. And moving on, we've got Jotun Slayer. I don't know. I was going to go for like a Norse kind of sounding voice, but I don't know what that sounds like.
That did not sound Norse at all. What were you thinking?
You know what?
What were you thinking?
I would really like if you were the wind beneath my wings and actually supported me when I try something. If I see a bit and I reach out for it, David, I would like to think that you would actually try and support me rather than trying to clip my wings, okay?
You know what? Cool Dave doesn't give a fuck.
You know what? You're not cool, David, this episode. You're rude, David. I don't like how... You know what? I no wonder why before I was angry, all right? I was seeing red, and now I know why.
You know what? Fuck you.
You know what? Cue Shane from The Walking Dead looking over at you very... like,
let me ask you something.
Suspiciously. He's just like, I think David's up to something. Let me tell you something. So moving on to the next game, we've got Jotun Slayer Hordes of Hell. So that is going to be on Xbox, PS5, and PC. So you embark on a quest through Norse mythology to ascend to the legendary halls of Valhalla And it's a gripping roguelike horde arena survival game which boasts cutting-edge graphics. You know, looks very cool, very epic, I must say. And I know I kind of always tend to say this about roguelites, but this does look like Diablo 4 to me, which I love. Like, it does look really, really high quality visuals in this game. So this genuinely does just look really cool.
Diablo 4?
Shut the fuck up. Okay, so David, moving on to September 4th. So we've got a major release alert.
Whoa!
Probably the most anticipated release of this week. Last week, developers at Team Cherry basically pulled out a grenade, which was an announcement of this release date, dropped that bomb on everyone's laps as they turned around and walked in the other direction in slow motion as that announcement bomb exploded in the indie game hemisphere, and they put on their aviator glasses and then they said to each other, let's go grab a beer. So the game that I'm talking about is Hollow Knight Silksong, and that's going to be available on all platforms. You play as Hornet in this mysterious new kingdom of Farloom, I think it's pronounced. It's a land ruled by silk and song. Whoa. And yeah, what can I say, honestly? Like, this game basically just appears to double down on its core mechanics while also implementing a vast range of new powers, enemies, and gameplay mechanics. Are you excited for this indie game?
This is going to be very shocking and surprising, but I've never actually played Hollow Knight. I've actually never picked it up and played it.
Oh God, I'm shamed for The Walking Dead looking at you right now. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, David.
I know how big the Hollow Knight game is, and it's universally loved, but I've just never picked it up or played it. But I do want to, especially with this. That's
cringe.
Yeah, it is cringe, especially with this upcoming release of the sequel and the hype around it. And it's really beautiful to see the fans cheering us on for this indie studio, and I honestly wish them the best success, because I know this game's gonna destroy records when it gets released.
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna be massive.
There's been other indie games. I don't know if you've seen it in the news, and I'm sorry if this is like something that you're covering, but basically there's been other indie devs announcing that they're gonna move their game or push it back because they don't want to try and release it within the same time frame as Hollow Knight 2.
There goes that piece of news. Thanks, Lennon.
Was it actually something you were going to talk about?
It was, yeah.
No. Well, I feel like I didn't really talk about it properly. But
no, you pretty much nailed it. Nailed it on the head. So, yeah. Did you just want to take my job? I can leave the podcast and you can just.
You know what? Maybe you should. You know what? Maybe you should get some more news, so that way I don't just take your whole job away from you just with one sentence.
Wow. Maybe you should actually keep going with the game releases before I punch you.
Okay.
With love.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Let me
sorry.
ask you something.
Okay, so the next game is Hell Is Us. Hell Is Us, David.
Hell Is Us.
It's going to be available on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Steam. It's a third-person horror adventure combining melee combat with exploration. Each region is suffering from a mysterious calamity with supernatural creatures, which you will use unique weapons to fight these calamities. So basically, it's a horror game, and it's kind of like the open world or semi-open world environment is ravaged by this like civil war, and not only that, but you're also trying to like get rid of this supernatural creature element as well. So it sounds like you're juggling a bit. Ooh. But I do have a question for you. Speaking of aliens,
I'm happy to answer this.
Yeah, cool. So David, do you love Ubisoft games?
Which era of Ubisoft games are we talking about?
Just in general. Do you love Ubisoft games?
Yeah, pre 2012. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Which one would you say is your favorite?
Oh, it has to be the Prince of Persia series.
That's interesting. Would you say that your favorite is Star Wars Outlaws?
Let me guess. Star Wars Outlaws is coming on the Switch too.
Okay, look who's stealing whose job right now.
Yeah, exactly. How's it feel? How's it feel?
You know what, David? I'm Shane from The Walking Dead eyesing you right now. Okay. Okay, so moving on to
why are we such a mess,
dude? I'm so fucking out of it tonight. You know what? I've had one drink. I'll own up to it.
Oh, whoa! You under the influence?
I've had a whiskey and dry, and I had that about an hour ago. You know what?
Oh, wow! Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm probably dead sober.
Man, aren't we?
I'm probably dead sober, but you know what? I just thought I'd throw that out there, okay? Because we love honesty on this podcast.
We do love honesty. You know what? I'll throw it out there. I've had no drinks nor no dinner. I'm raw dogging it right now.
That's interesting. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so September 5th, we've got Cronos, The New Dawn, and that's going to be on all platforms. So that is from Bloober Team, which is the devs who made the Silent Hill 2 remake. It's a brutal third-person survival horror where you fight for the future. It's a sci-fi horror alien, sci-fi horror with alien creatures that resurrect stronger by absorbing fallen enemies. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, Mr. Tom Hunt, Live Die Repeat, is to locate key people from the past and harvest their essence. And it looks like there'll be like this massive. Yeah, dude. Okay, I'll admit it. I mean, I wasn't going to say it unless you brought it up, but yes, I am going to be harvesting essence.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So it looks like there'll be a massive...
Just jerking off Albert Einstein, you know, you need to get your essence.
Sorry, I've just got a special guest here. So, Mr. Einstein, I just have a question for you on behalf of David.
You cannot do Albert Einstein.
So, do you think that if we try and harvest your essence, in whichever way this is, do you think that'll make us smarter? Please just say yes or no. Yes! Oh, okay, awesome. Thanks, Albert Einstein. Anyway, do you have anything else you want to say? Eureka! Anyway.
That sounds like the most...
Was that him?
That was like the most unhinged Borat, the worst Borat expression I've ever heard in my life.
My wife. Eureka! Wait, is he the Eureka guy?
No, he's a very nice guy.
No, the Eureka guy, like that saying, Eureka.
What the hell are you on about?
Have you never heard the Archimedes expression of when you figure out something, you've solved something, and you go, Eureka!
Yeah, I'm doing the Shane. I'm doing the Shane impression right now, just staring at you.
You know what? I'm going to cut all this shit. So it looks like there'll be a massive strategy element to this game. And yeah, it kind of feels like Dead Space, but in like a horror post-apocalyptic world. So grounded in Earth and reality, but it also looks like, yeah, just kind of twisted. Next up, we've got Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion, which is being released on all platforms. It's a fast-paced, armored action game with high-tech power armor. Not gonna lie, it does kind of look like an anime-inspired spin-off of Anthem in a way, but I'm sure probably better. And you explore an alien planet fighting mechs and organic enemies, and it's a vast open world to explore with explosive action, and you play as a high-tech warrior in customized arsenals with a variety of attacks, which sounds pretty cool. Next up as well, on the 5th, we have Shoten Order. That is going to be for the PC and Switch. So it's an anime-style action-adventure game with a multi-perspective visual novel system. Not much to say, but it does look quite interesting. David. Okay, so for the last 2 games, then we'll go into DLC expansions and updates. So we have Everybody's Golf, Hot Shots. Not sure if it's going to be Everybody's Golf. I'm pretty sure that Mr. Twump isn't going to be able to show up to play golf here. He's looking a little bit rough at the moment.
That's a decent little putt there, right there. That's a decent little putt.
Have you seen him at the moment? Well, actually, I guess at the time of recording this, no one's seen him for days, and everyone's like, is he dying? Have you heard of the pizza index?
Yes, it's where...
The Pentagon Pizza Index.
Essentially, the pizza joints around the Pentagon just have massive spikes of orders.
Yeah. Anyway, so...
Oh my god, they hit the Pentagon!
So it's for the PC, PS5, and Switch. It's basically a sports game with a variety of online, offline, single, or multiplayer game modes, David! Basically, you're playing with, playing golf with a bunch of characters that look like 2025 versions of Nintendo Mii characters from the Nintendo Wii. And then lastly, we've got NBA 2K26 on all platforms. We all know what the series is by now. It's basketball. I don't need
another basketball game.
Yeah. And for the major DLC expansion or update for this week on September 4th, we have Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, The Order of Giants DLC. Adventure DLC expansion for the Indiana Jones game. It's new content expanding the Great Circle storyline into the depths of Rome, where forgotten catacombs twist into something far more sinister. Oh. And it sounds interesting because you played that game, didn't you? The Great Circle.
Yeah, I have played that game, and let me tell you what Machine Games did with the Indiana Jones series. Phenomenal game. It's on my backlog. So, which we're going to be talking about, but great game.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's probably going to be it for the new. Well, I was going to say for the news. That's your part, even though apparently I've stolen your news. So that's going to be it for the games released this week. But David, please, will you tell the good people listening to this podcast, all two of them, what gaming news is out this week?
Hey, would you look at that? You've made it through the entirety of this episode. Congratulations. This video is just one section of our weekly gaming podcast called Last Week in Gaming Today. If you're interested in checking out the full episode or more discussions like the one you've just watched, I'll leave a link to the podcast in the description and comment section below.